It's Michael Luchies, and I'm joined here with Jenna Atkinson, entrepreneur, consultant, and speaker. Jenna is founder of Jenna Atkinson Consulting. Jenna, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Michael?
Doing fantastic, thanks. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Jenna Atkinson Consulting?
Jenna Atkinson Consulting is also a relatively new firm, but I'm really excited. It's been growing really quickly. And what we do is provide business development and marketing strategies, consulting, training to individuals and businesses to help them reach their next level of success. And I think something that really differentiates me and my business is that I'm a millennial, I'm younger, but I have also had a lot of experience in several different industries, and I bring a pretty interesting and unique perspective to business development and marketing. So I say it how it is, and hopefully that helps the business grow.
And today we're going to be speaking about building a business on a budget. So what are some of the most common mistakes you've observed entrepreneurs making when building their business in terms of overspending?
Well, I think there's probably two things, especially first-time entrepreneurs have a tendency to overspend on. The first one is any non-critical marketing or advertising. And for that, I mean things like expensive brochures or other printed marketing materials and paid advertisements. And that's coming from me as the owner of a marketing firm. So I totally understand the importance of marketing. However, in the beginning, I think there's a lot of things that a startup can do to get the word out there about their product or their service that doesn't drain their bank account. The second thing I would say is getting expensive or unnecessary office space. That's a huge one. With technology, more and more businesses are letting people work remotely. And if a brick and mortar location isn't essential for your business, then I definitely think it's something you should put off as long as possible.
There are a lot of hacks and ways entrepreneurs can start a business on a shoestring budget. What wouldn't you advise going cheap on?
Your website, definitely. Try to think of the last time that you bought a product or a service or went to a new restaurant or really any kind of business and you didn't type them into Google or look them up online first, because so a reason you want to make sure it's really well done is because not only is your website a 24/7 salesperson for your company, it's really oftentimes the first impression people get of your business. So it's hard to come off as professional, credible, reliable if your website isn't working properly, if it looks like some makeshift, out-of-date thing made in 1995.
And one of your focuses is strategic partnerships. Why are relationships important when growing a business?
Well, I think relationships are important in everything you do, but especially when you're trying to grow a new business. A lot of times entrepreneurs think they're looking for a certain opportunity when really what they're looking for is a person who can provide them with that opportunity. For example, if you're trying to land a new business client, what you're really trying to find is a specific person or the people within that company that can make that happen for you. So really overall business boils down to relationships. If you're good with people and you can build a strong network by helping other people succeed, then hopefully in the long run they'll be willing to do the same for you.
How can anyone listening use relationships right now to grow their business regardless of industry?
Yeah, that's a good one. I would suggest probably two things to start. First, kind of like I mentioned before, is always be looking for ways to help other people and be a resource for them. So what can you or your business do to make them more successful or help them reach their goals? I think the more value that you can provide to other people in their business, the more likely it is that they'll be able to help you when that time comes in the future. And then the second thing seems really simple, I know, but people don't feel comfortable doing it for some reason, and that is just asking for what you want. Be really specific. Don't assume that people will understand how they can help you in your business. So if you want something from someone or from a business, just ask. I mean, the worst that they can say is no. So don't be afraid to ask.
And our last question here for Jenna Atkinson of Jenna Atkinson Consulting, and you can check her out by going to jennaatkinsonconsulting.com. Jenna, what are your top tips for growing a business on an extremely tight budget?
Well, there's a lot of ways to grow a business on a tight budget. It's actually a topic I speak and consult on quite a bit, but I would say in general, the top three things are, first off, like we already mentioned, building a strong network and nurturing those relationships. The second one is finding strategic partners for your business, so other organizations that either provide complementary services or that you have something in common. And then as you help them grow, they help you grow. Win-win relationships are always really, really a great and critical thing to have for business. And then I would say the third thing is just creating valuable content. There's so many ways to get it out there now. So write blog posts, be a guest blogger, do interviews like this, be active on social media, volunteer to write for an industry publication. All of those are just some examples that are free, and they help you position yourself as an expert in a certain industry while also gaining exposure for your business and your brand and hopefully getting those results that you want.
Great. Well, Jenna, thanks again for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.